journalism as we know it may not be sustainable, but participants at JTM Denver sought new ways of telling stories and new forms of collaboration to maintain and rethink journalism's values, principles, and purposes.
Every time I come to a JTM gathering, I get another jolt of energy, and I get clarity about what I'm doing. I haven't changed what I'm doing. I just understand it better. I understand my own motives.
Journalism That Matters is a collaborative group of people that are very passionate about journalism. We're interested in reinventing the new news ecology by bringing in diverse voices and diverse viewpoints to help us solve that problem.
Have journalism be able to offer a venue for people to come together and talk about what they learn from the journalism. And then maybe they can begin to figure out what they as a community want to do about it.
Make use of a skilled journalistic population where we don't have to worry about bringing the story up to professional standards.
How do we identify and balance what our audiences want and what they demand from us as news organizations versus what we know that the public needs to know?
Engagement is not a privilege, it needs a kick in the butt. You need to give the people who want to engage a reason, like a media voice.
If you don't have civic engagement, it's hard to get people involved at any other level.
And I mean, America likes to see itself as an epic nation, and in many ways it is. And the stories that we tell in this country, they elevate us, they make us strive for greatness. But I think that at the same time, we also need the ability to see the world as it really is, not as we wish it would be.
What I believe as an educator and as a participant in Journalism That Matters is that we need to teach our young students how to be able to look at and examine the landscape to find opportunities for themselves. It might be within a legacy media organization, or they might find that there's an entrepreneurial opportunity that they might be able to seize themselves.
I want you not to be swayed, if I can evangelize for a moment, by anything your friends or even your parents or former reporters may say to you about how the industry's dead, it's all over, why are you going into this, it's not dying. Something new is being born. We don't know what the exact form it's going to take will be, but it would be a total mistake to think that journalism is coming to an end.
One of the things Journalism That Matters sees as a part of its future is documenting and telling the stories of success.
The Banyan Project is ushering in a new business model. The old business models for journalism are crumbling. It's a community institution that is owned by a large number of members of the community whose mission is to fulfill the community's information needs.
Ed News Colorado was created, about 3 or 4 years ago to fill the void left by the numerous mainstream newspapers that are cutting staff devoted to school issues.
I know somebody who's working on this project. We ought to go and work with them, or there's no project like this going on. We ought to start something.
So the changes have never stopped, and the advent of different tools has never stopped.
My tweet is, Journalism That Matters. How can we play this essential role to conquer the problems of today for a vibrant, just, and sustainable future for tomorrow?
How does climate change provide an important frame for journalism?
How can we build community support in cash, volunteers, and subscribers?
The role of journalists today, working with us on a narrative that keeps things fixed, that we need them, as you use the term guides, to help us navigate through change and make sense.
I don't think that we have articulated for journalists in their practical approach how they should take journalism values in the 21st century and make daily decisions.
We're in a country here that was founded, unlike almost any other country in the world, it was founded on stories. The story culture that we've created here that is increasingly and increasingly immersive is one that we need to have vocabulary to talk about. We need to be able to pull at the threads of it. We need to be able to see that the stories that we're told are not just Oz the Great and Powerful up there, but the man behind the curtain.
How will those of us here empower people to be story creators, story gatherers, story sharers, and story listeners?
Can engagement, community, and transparency provide a future model for journalism? Maybe, says optimistic skeptic.
Journalism now needs to answer its own questions: who, what, where, when, how, and why.
And the 6W, what's possible now?
What is it we really want? And that then takes us into the conversation about how do we make it happen?